Hi everyone, welcome back to PrepLoop. In this video, we are going to understand typecasting. So typecasting basically is how we convert one data type to another. So in the previous video, we saw what data types are. In this video, we will see how to convert one data type to another data type. So let's see what is a typecasting. As I already mentioned, typecasting simply means changing the type of a value. For example, converting int into double, converting double into int, and so on. And let's see why do we need this. So when numbers must fit together during calculations like math operations, and when a value doesn't match the variable type, like storing values in different variables. Also when we want to convert memory and precision. Okay. Now let's move to types of casting. Okay, there are two types, widening and narrowing. So widening is done automatically, and whereas narrowing is done manually. Okay, remember these terms. There are two types, one is widening and narrowing. Widening is done automatically by Java and narrowing is done manually by us. Let's see these two types with proper examples. Okay, let's go with widening. So remember these terms for widening. Okay, widening is done from smaller to larger. Since it's smaller to larger, there won't be any data loss, no data loss, and it's done automatically. So when we convert a smaller type to a larger type, Java does it automatically for us, and because there is no risk of losing data, right? In the previous video, if you remember, I have told the sizes of each data type. Here I have added again for the reference. So here if you see the size used by each data type, right? So widening is nothing but we are changing smaller data type to larger data type. In this case, we can change int to long, or for example float to double, and maybe int to double as well, right? In this case, if you see int is 4 and long is 8, so int is shorter to larger. Again the same here, float is 4, so int is again 4. Let's see with examples. I will use some int number equal to 10. Okay, now I will declare a variable double d equal to number. So what I am doing here is I am assigning number to the value type d, which is larger in size than the int. So now I will print this d. Okay, I will also print number here. Okay, and let's run this program. So you can see this, right? So the number is 10, whereas when I print d, it's 10.0, which is a decimal value. It is called automatic typecasting. Okay, so Java does it for us when it is larger. Okay, so this is what is called as widening typecasting. And widening is a safe conversion as there will be no data loss. Now let's move to narrowing, which is manual casting. Okay, so narrowing is the other way around, that is larger to smaller. There are possible data loss. Okay, and it's not done automatically, we have to manually do it. Okay, so what we are trying here is we are trying to fit a bigger value into a smaller container. So here Java forces us to write that cast manually because the data may be lost, right? For example, here I'll take an example of double value, which is equal to 99.99. Okay, now I'm just converting this into int number equal to val. Okay, Here we have to manually convert this into int of val. Okay. Now if we try to print, so number is already defined here, so that's why it's giving error. So I can give as num1 here. Okay, let's run this. Yeah, if you see, this 99.99 is nothing but the value, whereas when I manually convert it into int, it gives only 99. So in this case there is a data loss of 0.99 here. Okay, so this is why the narrowing is not safe, because this value is gone, right? Okay, this is about two types of typecasting. Now let's come to the interesting part, that is the common mistake we usually do, or we can even say it's as interview questions. Okay. Okay, now let's see, I have declared double x equal to 99.50 again, and I will say int y equal to x. So x is nothing but the double value here. So pause here and comment down below that what error it throws. Okay, so I'll run this program and see incompatible types, possibly lossy conversion, that is from double to int. Okay, this is the error it throws, so this is not allowed here. So this is allowed when we manually write the int. So here if you see what type of data type you need to convert, you have to add it here. Okay, for example, if you are using short here, okay, you have to change it to short. Okay, so these two types should match. So next will be overflow risk. Okay, int variable some a equal to some 150. Okay, and then I will use byte b equal to a, right, and we have to convert like into byte here, and when we print this, we will get -106. This is interesting, right? So now this wrap around, so we will learn overflow later. Just know it can happen. For now you just remember that what happens when you like assign a 4 bytes of data to a 1 byte. Here you are giving the value here, right, that should not cross more than a byte. For example, if you give 15 and if you run this, the 15 still works. Okay, and if you give more than 128, it will start showing a different value. Okay, like this, and this is called overflow risk. Coming to our next mistake, it's not a mistake, it's a funny thing, so I'll show you. We have character a, for example, and we have int ch val of character, and now I'll print both. Okay, and if you run this program, you will get a for a ch, and ch1 is 65 because character stores Unicode numbers, not the values directly. Here now I will use int n equal to 66, and I am converting this to a character 2, which is n, and manually typecasting here. Okay, now pause the video and guess the output here. What will be the value of the ch2? Okay, meanwhile I'll type the print statements. Yeah, did you find the answer? Let's see what it prints. Yeah, 66 is nothing but b. So a is 65 and b is 66. And also comment below what letter will come if I use 67. Okay, now let's see what we cannot cast, what is not allowed. Okay, we cannot cast boolean to numbers and string directly to numbers. Okay, so for example, if I use boolean flag equal to 1, it's not allowed. Okay, again it gives incompatible type, but if I give boolean also, it gives the same thing, incompatible types. Okay, so int cannot be converted to boolean. So the same thing for this string as well, int text equal to int of 1 2 3. Okay, even if it's number, I cannot cast this. Okay, again string cannot be converted to int here. So these two are not allowed, boolean, even if we are doing it manually, Java doesn't allow. So to convert string to number, we use methods like integer, .parseInt, etc. We will learn that later. Now let's recap what all we learned. So we learned casting, that is converting data type, and there are two types. One is widening, which is automatic and it's safe, whereas narrowing, which is manual and risky. We also saw some character to integer conversions and what are all not allowed. Okay, in the next video we will shift slightly and understand how Java program execution actually happens inside main. Okay, so I always write this main method, right? Let's see what is this main method in the next video. Thanks for watching.